everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Amber Rose, also known as the Religious Hippie. You can basically follow me on any social media platform, or you can check out my official website at thereligioushippie.com. So today, I thought it would be a great day to kind of talk to you guys about how to deepen your prayer life. I know during the season of Advent, we are all seeking to grow in our prayer life and our relationship with God. So I thought I would just kind of share my favorite tips with you guys for how I grow in my prayer. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. But first, a word from our sponsor, the Little Catholic Box. They are a family-owned small business, and I absolutely love all of their items. They sent me a box, so let's see what's in here. They send out quarterly subscription boxes, or you can just buy the individual items off of their store directly. They put together a combination of a bunch of different Catholic businesses into one box, and I absolutely love to see what they have every single quarter of the month. There's always unique stuff in here that you're not going to get anywhere else, and most of this stuff I've never even heard of before, and I am obsessed. So this is our card. They send one in every single box every quarter, and basically what they do is they tell you where these items came from and their mission statement. So let's just dig right in. So one of the first items they sent were these socks from Sock Religious. I absolutely love Sock Religious. If you guys don't know, they're one of my most favorite religious sock brands, and I think one of the only ones, to be honest. And basically on the bottom of the sock here, it says, "You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart." And I absolutely love these. I love cozy socks, especially around this time of year. It's perfect. Our next item is this really cute hospitality mug from, I'm gonna butcher their name maybe, but Petite Fleur Catholic Co. And oh my gosh, this is so cute. It's a really hefty mug too. I love thick mugs because the thicker the mug, the hotter the tea stays. And I love hot tea. Plus it's purple, which is perfect for Advent. And to pair with the mug, we have some delicious tea from sacredhearttea.com. Beautiful. And this is warm reception. It's black tea, rose, lemon, and hibiscus. Ooh. I'm so excited to try this. Delicious. I can't wait to try it. I love tea, you guys. Our next item is from Catholic Family Crate, and they sent basically Catholic playing cards. These are so cool. I don't know who the Joker is, but like, that's hilarious. That is so awesome. I don't know how to play card games, to be honest, but I'm so learning how to do it now. Next up, we have these buttermint with chocolate cookies from Monastery Baked Goods, themonasterygiftshop.org. These look delicious. These are not going to last a week in my house. My mom, my dad, and I are gonna devour these. It's taking a lot of willpower for me right now to not just like rip open the bag and start eating them. I must contain myself. Oh, also they sent me a reusable tea bag for the tea as well, which I think is wonderful because why aren't we using more reusable tea bags and reusable things? Like you just throw it into the washer without soap. Don't put soap in it. That's gonna be some really bubbly tea. And then the last one is from the Little Catholic Box, which is this beautiful woven basket. Look, it has their little emblem on the side. I think this is so cute. Look, it like, you know the amount of stuff I could put in here? I could put prayer cards and rosaries and veils. I'm getting ahead of myself, but I love little things like this that are like organizational. So they said a little bit about this basket. It says, "We happen to know a wonderful company that creates these beautiful cotton rope baskets, and we're fortunate enough that they agreed to produce this unique, one-of-a-kind version just for us. We selected an off-white rope color with gold stitching so that these baskets are equally appropriate as liturgical decor for Christmas and Easter, or as everyday items in your home. They come filled with our love and gratitude." If you're looking for unique gifts this holiday season, or if you're looking just for a wonderful business to support and get some unique Catholic items yourself, the Little Catholic Box is a wonderful choice. So I highly suggest you go check them out. And of course, you can always use my affiliate link, which is in the description below. All right, with all of that being said, let's get on with the video. So my first tip for prayer is setting the mood. Now, if you have a prayer corner like I do, you guys have seen my prayer corner. My rosaries are here, they're easily accessible. And then I am rearranging this desk over here, my dresser. So that's why she looks a little bit ghetto right now. And then on this side, I have all of my prayer books, and then I have religious art. And it's really helpful getting into the mindset of prayer when I'm surrounded by religious statues and icons and books. And so it's just really helpful that way. If you don't have a prayer corner, that's totally fine. You can either make one, or if you can't make one, I highly suggest you still find a quiet place where you can be undisturbed for a while. If you're a parent, I understand. That is not an easy task. But try to implement that maybe into your kids' lives and be like, okay, this is mommy's quiet time. Like, this is our quiet time. And it doesn't have to be for very long. You know, it could be like for 15 minutes, maybe. Even 5 minutes if you only have 5 minutes. Some prayer is better than no prayer, in my opinion. Even if you have to wake up earlier than you normally would, it's really important that we spend that time with God. So I highly suggest that you try and set that or implement that into your family if you are a parent, or if you're not a parent and you're just like me, kind of. I still wake up sometimes earlier if I know that I'm not going to have time during the day to pray. I will wake up like 10 or 15 minutes earlier to get my prayers in. So then that way I can actually start off the day on the right foot, and I just feel better about my day overall when I do that. Some other things you can do is you can light a blessed candle. You can get blessed candles from your priest. I absolutely love mine. I have 100% beeswax blessed candles. There's one in this thing, whatever you want to call this thing. I don't know, candle holder? Candle thingy? Yeah, and they just smell fantastic, in my opinion. I love the smell of beeswax. You can also buy and get blessed incense. I have a little incense maker. She kind of looks like this. Or actually, she does look like this. This is a picture of mine. Really cute. And you just put charcoal in her and you light the charcoal, and then you just put a couple little rocks of incense on it, and it just smells amazing. Frankincense is personally my favorite. No, wait. It's so hard to choose. Okay. If I had to rank them, it would probably be myrrh. I love myrrh. I don't know why, but it just smells so clean, and it just smells so good. Okay, anyways, off my rant of incense. But lighting incense can really put us in that mindset, because I'm not sure if you guys go to the TLM or not. I don't know if your Novus Ordo parish has incense or not, but sometimes it might. But for me personally, whenever I smell incense, it kind of brings me back to my childhood and at church, and I go to the TLM, so we have incense constantly at church, and it just kind of puts me in that mindset as well through all of my senses. So through sight, I have my icons and my religious stuff, and then smell, I have the incense or the candle, because the candles do smell very good, and then through touch, I have my rosaries. So being able to put all of my senses towards prayer is really important to me, because it really helps me focus a lot more. And then of course for ears, for hearing, because that is also another sense, I like to put on Gregorian chant, specifically the chants of the mystics. It's like a very low toned chant, and it's just fantastic. I think the guy's name is Patrick. I have a whole playlist of Gregorian chants on my Spotify, which I will link them all below for you guys if you want them. And then of course, before I start praying, I love grabbing a cozy cup of chai or chamomile tea before I start praying, because it just makes the mood a little bit more cozier. And it depends on if I'm going to sleep right afterwards, if it's at night, or if it's in the morning, because I am not taking chamomile tea at like 8 a.m. That's not happening. But that's something I always enjoy doing. It's almost like having coffee with Jesus type thing, and I love doing that, and I love prayer journaling. It's just a fantastic time. So that's one of my main tips, is to set the mood. The second tip I have is to pray with somebody. Praying with friends and family is really important because it keeps you accountable and it brings you guys closer together as a family or as friends. And this doesn't have to be in person. It could be over the phone. It could be over Zoom. I know sometimes we have long distance relationships. Praying with your significant other is so, so important. Communal prayer is so important because it brings us together as a community and it lifts our prayers up to God together. And I just think that's fantastic. And of course, if you can't find anyone to pray with, I know I have multiple followers who are the only Catholics in their family, and they're having a really hard time finding friends. And I'm praying for you all, I promise. You could start an Instagram live and start praying the rosary. Katie from A Sweet Catholic Life on Instagram, she does, I think, twice a day. She gets on Instagram. She's a wonderful friend of mine. She's lovely. I absolutely love her. She hops on Instagram and she does a live stream of the Divine Mercy Chaplet and the Rosary. And so I think that's absolutely fantastic. It's just such a wonderful way to really join in community without being in community. So you can lead in those prayers too. Don't be afraid of that. And even if you only have one person or nobody show up, that's okay, because you can save the live and then I'm sure other people will watch it later. Personally, for me, I am an introvert. People know this. I don't always act like an introvert, but I am an introverted extrovert. Extroverted extroverted introvert, which means I can do really well in extroverted settings, but at the end of the day, I need to recharge and I need like a 50-hour long nap. And I know praying in groups can sometimes be intimidating, but if that's your forte, go for it, especially if you're an extrovert and you're fine with praying with strangers. But if you're more introverted and you're not really ready to branch out and start praying with strangers or a group yet, you can always pick close friends or family that you can pray with. And I think that's fantastic. And it doesn't need to be a lot. You guys can pray the rosary together, the Divine Mercy Chaplet together, or even if you just want to do some spiritual reading together, I think that's wonderful too. My third tip for praying is to go outside. This is an underrated tip, and I absolutely love praying outside. When I'm walking outside, I love contemplating God and His creations and how we all came into being. I really like listening to some Catholic podcasts. I have Hollow, which is amazing. You guys have been telling me about Hollow forever, and I've just now been starting to use it, and it's just fantastic. The meditations on there are wonderful. I just absolutely love meditating on the rosary, and you can do this while sitting or walking. And what better way to spend time with God than in His creation, you know? But usually I will just have my rosary in my pocket at all times, my Divine Mercy Chaplet. Most of the time I just double my rosary as my Divine Mercy Chaplet to avoid carrying too many things. My fourth tip for prayer is to pray along with an audio or a video. Hollow, YouTube, Spotify, they all have amazing Catholic pray along audios or videos. I absolutely love using these because sometimes I can't focus and I need another voice to guide me. And so in those cases, I really love Hollow. There are so many options on there, and that's not sponsored. I just love Hollow. And then of course YouTube has them, and then Spotify also has some prayers that you guys can Google, like if you want to pray the rosary, stuff like that. You can just type it into Spotify and it'll pop up and you can pray along with somebody. This really helps, especially if you're having a hard time memorizing certain prayers. I just think it's a wonderful way to learn prayers and become more comfortable in the memorization of those prayers. Number 5 is to use visuals. This is also very helpful for those who struggle to concentrate. Have some icons or some religious art to remind you and keep you focused during prayer. For example, if you're praying the rosary and you're on a specific mystery, let's say you're having a hard time visualizing that mystery. This happens a lot to me sometimes. Look up a photo from that specific mystery. There's a painting, a picture. There's a lot of websites too. I think mycatholiclife.com has, I have to put it in the description below, but it has like all of the rosary's mysteries, and then it also has like scripture and a picture, so it helps you focus. But definitely look up a picture from the mystery you are trying to meditate on, or if you're asking for a specific saint's intercession, or if you're trying to pray Divine Mercy, have an image of Divine Mercy that you're looking at so that it helps you focus a lot more. And then when you are praying the rosary, put yourself in that situation. What would you do if you saw Jesus being scourged at the pillar? What would you do if you saw Elizabeth and Our Lady meeting for the first time in however many years? What would you do if you saw the ascent of the Holy Spirit on Pentecost? Those types of things. Like, what would you do in those situations? What would you say? Would you say anything? What would you see? What would it be like? What would the lighting be like? What would the weather and the climate be like? What were other people doing? I just think that's a wonderful way to really place ourselves in the meditation. And that form of meditation where you're actually putting yourself in the situation and visualizing and putting yourself there, that's actually Ignatian meditation. My 6th tip for you guys is to go to adoration. There is nothing more peaceful and relaxing than sitting in the presence of Christ. Now, if you have an adoration chapel near you, you can find out if you just Google Catholic Adoration Chapel near me, or usually churches will have adoration at least once or twice a week. You might have to ask Susan of the parish council at your front desk, or you could just ask your priest if you're buddy-buddy with him. But usually they should have adoration times on their website. Unfortunately, though, a lot of churches do not, and so that's kind of annoying. Like, you literally have to dig to find mass times and like adoration times, but you know what's on the front page? The potluck they had last week. But that's none of my business. I'm literally just kidding. I love potlucks too. But I do believe that churches should have the mass times and the adoration times and the confession times on the very first page you click on when you get to their website. That's just my opinion. I'd love to know your guys' opinions below. There are plenty of things you can do in adoration, and I made, I think, 2 videos about it down below, and I'll link all of my adoration videos down below because I've done quite a few: adoration etiquette, what to do in adoration, all of the fun stuff. So I'll link those below for you guys. There's so many things you can do in adoration. You can read the Bible, you can pray your rosary, your Divine Mercy Chaplet, you can journal. There are so many things that we can benefit from in adoration, and I don't think enough people take advantage of that, personally. My adoration chapel is completely silent, which means you can hear a pin drop, basically. I cannot focus when it is 100% quiet like that. So what I have to do is I basically bring my earbuds with me and I listen to some brown noise. It just gives some like white noise so I don't hear like the blood flowing through my veins. I always make sure it's quiet enough so nobody else can hear it. It's always on the lowest setting, and I've tested it to make sure nobody else can hear it. But that just really helps me being able to focus, because when it is like pin drop silent, my ears start to ring and nothing gets done. Whereas if I have a little bit of white or brown noise, I'm usually good to go and I'm really good at focusing. But overall, after adoration, I always feel more relaxed and peaceful, and my prayer life just, it greatly benefits from going to adoration at least once, if not more, every week. So highly suggest that. Okay, my last tip for you guys is to start prayer journaling. Now, I did a whole video about how to get started with prayer journaling, how to do it, what you should do, what to write about, how to start it, all of that fun stuff. So I will link that below if you guys are interested in that video. But prayer journaling can really benefit our prayer lives. When we write things down and we solidify our prayers with pen and paper, we can then go back and we can look through our prayer life to see where God has answered our prayers or where he hasn't yet. Or maybe he gave us a different answer than we expected and we didn't know that because we forgot we prayed that prayer. Another thing that I love about prayer journaling is when I do prayer journal, sometimes I'll look back at previous prayer requests and things like that maybe I forgot about and I need to start praying for again. And in general, I just love being able to write my thoughts out on paper. It really cleans out my mind and it prepares me for the day, or it helps me sleep at night at the end of the day. And overall, I just feel like I'm offering my words and my writings to God. Obviously, he already knows everything that's going on in my life, but just the fact that I feel like I can get it on paper and offer it up to God really helps me in my prayer life. So I'm hoping that'll help you guys too. And with all of that being said, I would love to know what your guys' tips are in the comments below. Don't forget to check out my podcast because there are new episodes every 2 weeks, and I will talk to you guys in the next video. Bye!